So I've been seeing a lot of videos pop up on my YouTube feed talking about how Chipotle, the Mexican fast food chain, has really gone downhill in recent years, and it's just not what it used to be. And I'm here to tell you it used to be ass. Chipotle has never been a good place to eat. Chipotle is garbage food for people who probably have never really experienced seriously good Mexican food. I remember the first time I tried Chipotle. This was after I had already lived in places like Phoenix, where I could go out and find some pretty good, authentic Mexican food. But I had been hearing about this Chipotle place, and people saying, oh, this is so good, you need to go there and try these burritos. You like burritos, you should go to this Chipotle place and check them out. And so I stopped in one day when it was convenient for me, and I forget, I probably got a burrito, maybe I got a burrito bowl, I don't exactly remember. And my impression of it was like I was eating a cardboard cutout of Mexican food. It was relatively bland. The ingredients didn't seem particularly fresh. Somehow they took what is one of the most flavorful cuisines on the planet, Mexican food, and they just like eliminated most of what's good about Mexican food and just kind of replaced it with like a bland facsimile. And that's why I say it's like a cardboard cutout of Mexican food. And that was the first impression I ever had of Chipotle. Was like, I don't get it. Why are people raving about this place? And over the years, maybe a handful of times at best, I stopped at Chipotle again, usually because I was in some place where there weren't many options and I was hungry, and it was just the easiest, best option that was within whatever budget I was looking to spend. And granted, you can eat at Chipotle a little bit healthier than maybe some other fast food places. Like getting a burrito bowl with rice and beans and some chicken or something is going to be a little bit better for you than going and getting like a Big Mac with fries and a soda. So I might have made that decision to go to Chipotle a few more times, but I was never really that happy about it. It was always just like underwhelming and disappointing. And I never quite understood why people continued to talk about this place like it was great. And I could only assume that that sentiment was coming mostly from people who lived in places where the access that you have to really good Mexican food is just not great. Like I grew up in Pennsylvania, and in Pennsylvania, you can find a passable burrito. You can find some somewhat authentic Mexican restaurants, but it's not widespread. There's more bad than there is good. And for the most part, you're not going to very easily find in most parts of Pennsylvania very great Mexican food like you will if you're in somewhere like the Southwest, or especially Mexico. And I could only assume that these people who were raving about Chipotle were living in places where they just never really experienced great Mexican food. Like maybe they saw Chipotle versus Taco Bell and said, oh, well, Chipotle is obviously a lot better than Taco Bell. I don't even agree with that sentiment. I'd rather go to a Taco Bell, because at least then you know you're getting garbage for cheap. It's going to be greasy, it's going to be salty, and it's going to be bad for you, and it's going to taste kind of good. Whereas Chipotle is kind of like there's this pretense about it that it's like higher quality than fast food, but it's really not. So Chipotle is garbage, and I'm glad that people are starting to catch up to the notion that Chipotle is in fact garbage.